A new Windows PC, laptop, or desktop can be a bit of an adventure. In all honesty, it's been a year or so since I had a new laptop. Well, new to me, but the first thing I did was load Linux on it. However, as an IT guy, I've had enough experience over the years with Windows to be able to give you some advice if you have a new PC on hand. And the keen-eyed among you will notice that this is another Windows-related video. Not to worry, it's just the way things worked out this week. I haven't changed it to a Windows channel. So there are three main points, I think, to discuss, and we'll try to walk through those in order. Okay? Here goes. First, of course, is the initial setup, where you turn on a computer for the first time and it prompts you for your info in order to set things up. Second is handling the inevitable slew of pre-installed software, most of which is quite honestly superfluous to requirements, shall we say. Last is effectively a continuation of the initial setup, but where we are trying to tamp down on Windows telemetry and other invasive nonsense. Microsoft desperately wants you to sign into your new computer with a Windows account, particularly since Windows 11 version 24H2. Your login is authenticated in the cloud, and effectively all your stuff belongs to Microsoft after that. Personally, I feel the few benefits of using the Microsoft account are far outweighed by the privacy nightmare it invokes. But you do you. My method has always been to log in to Windows with a local account, meaning you create a username and password that's just kept on a computer and has nothing to do with Microsoft, like the old days with Windows XP, Windows 7, etc. A local account can still be set up at the time of recording, but Microsoft has been shutting down many of the tricks or hacks people have previously used to bypass having to use a Microsoft account to even use their PC. If you've already gone through this part of the initial setup and wish you hadn't, you could either reset the computer and run the setup again, or you can create a local account in your current setup and then switch to using that on a daily basis. I have some links in the video description below on these bypass methods. They are not particularly difficult to do, just sort of arcane and non-intuitive, and may depend on which version of Windows 11 your new computer uses. The next hurdle to actually using and enjoying your computer is the inevitable glut of, crapware that comes installed on new PCs. This is thanks to Microsoft making deals with various parties to, squeeze every cent of revenue out of each Windows install. They are not one of the most valuable companies in the world by accident, The problem is that most of the reinstalled software is stuff you never use or need, while potentially using system resources as otherwise would allow Windows to perform well. Unfortunately, this list only covers the bloatware that Microsoft typically installs by default in Windows. This list gets extended by the manufacturers of Windows PCs and devices like HP, Lenovo, and Dell. Every manufacturer adds its unique set of bloatware that might include apps like McAfee LiveSafe, WinZip, TripAdvisor, WPS Office, Dropbox, Evernote, or Norton Internet Security. On top of that, they add vendor-specific apps to provide you with updates for firmware, drivers, tech support options, app portals, user documentation, web storage, notifications, and so on and so on. It's all a bit overwhelming to the point of being almost humorous. The first thing I would advise to remove is whatever antivirus they have on there, whether McAfee or something else. These usually don't work any better than Microsoft's own Defender antivirus. Plus, they will nag you to death to upgrade after the initial free trial expires. Once that's done, you can work on removing the other bundled apps you don't want or need. Honestly, it can be a real chore to manually uninstall this stuff. There are utilities that can automatically remove some of these things, but that's for you to decide if the potential time saving is worth it. Again, links below in the video description. Now, you probably said no to many of the telemetry type options during setup, but here is where we can really tell Microsoft to mind their own business and just leave you alone to use your computer. There are several apps to help with this, and the one I have used for the last few years is Shut Up 10, which works with Windows 11 as well. This is one of those fire and forget type of apps, and it's both free and simple to use. You may find you need to reapply your settings after major Windows updates, as Microsoft tends to try to revert any changes back to their preferred defaults. After launching the Shut-Up 10 program, you can choose Recommended Setting, Recommended and Somewhat Recommended Setting, or Apply All Settings. Each of these is more aggressive than the last, and honestly, for most people, the first choice is generally best. It tightens up privacy quite a bit while not potentially breaking any important functionality. The settings can be easily reversed or tweaked if you know what you're doing, and the app also tries to make a system restore point if that's available. There are several utilities like this floating around, such as Chris Titus' WinUtil app, but that may be a bit more advanced for some non-technical users. Again, links in the video description below. I feel it's a sad commentary on Microsoft's approach that we find ourselves having to muck around like this just to get an optimal and less obtrusive operating system on a brand new computer. But this is where we are in 2026 with Windows 11. So please take a look at the links below if you have to deal with a new Windows computer in your life, and I hope it goes well. So that's another video in the can. If you found this interesting or informative or even funny, give me a like and maybe even subscribe. And remember, be excellent to each other.